today we are going to be doing my championship predictions for the upcoming 24-25 season. So, this is going to be filmed on the day of the championship starting, but will be posted after the championship has started because of editing, etc. So let's get straight into it. In 24th, I'm going to go with one of the newly promoted sides, Oxford. In terms of their transfer business, okay. They've signed some decent players at this level, such as Louis Sibley, Malcolm Eberwohi from Crystal Palace on loan, Peter Kiosu from Rotherham, Matt Ingram from Hull. It's not great business, I'll be honest, but obviously, small budget, what can you do? Josh Murphy, who was good at the end of the season for them, was pivotal in their playoff final match, has left the club to go to Portsmouth. James Henry was also at the club for a long while, been released. So, 24th, we're going to go with Oxford. In 23rd, we are going to go with Plymouth. They stayed up by the absolute skin of their teeth last season. I don't know any of their signings this season. So 23rd, we're going to go Plymouth. In 27th, we're going to go for another of the newly promoted teams in Derby. In terms of ingoings and outgoings, there's a lot of them. Incomings, some of the highlights: Ben Osborne on a free from Sheffield United, who's a decent defender. Morton Spencer from Leeds on a free. Jerry Yates from Swansea on loan. And in terms of outgoings, they've been a bit ruthless. They have got rid of a lot of experienced players, the likes of Dwight Gale, been released, although it wasn't really successful, but experienced player. What's he, 31, 32 now? Martin Waghorn released. Conor Hourihane gone to Barnsley on a free. So they've let a lot of players go and not signed any players of note, a bit under the radar. In 21st, we're going to go with the last newly promoted team in Portsmouth. The main highlights of their transfers: Josh Murphy from Oxford on a free, who we talked about earlier, was pivotal for them at the end of the season and in the playoff final. And Matt Ritchie from Newcastle on a free, which is a bit of an unexpected one, has been out of the fold at Newcastle since the Saudi deal came in, really. But experienced player, experience at this level, and I think that is pretty good going for Portsmouth, so I think they're going to stay up just about. In 20th place, I'm going with Blackburn. They had an underwhelming season last season. I think we're going to have more of the same here. Some people are predicting them to go down. I don't think it'll be that drastic. Their transfer business is okay. A lot of experienced players, but good at this level. Danny Bath from Norwich on a free. Andreas Weimann, Bristol City on a free, who is an experienced striker at this level, may just about scrape you double digits in terms of goals. And also Carmet Fadzan, who used to play for Coventry. In terms of outgoings, nothing really too bad. Sam Gallagher was a striker who never really got off the mark, I'd say, at Blackburn. Sami Somodozic, the league's top goal scorer last season, with I believe 33 goals, surely he can't stay at a team that is not going to perform well. Lots of links of a move away for Somodozic. I think he'll leave, and that'll suffer. Blackburn will suffer heavily and finish in 20th. In 19th, we're going to go with QPR. Nothing too important in terms of ingoings and outgoings. I just don't really see a world where QPR could do well this season. One major outgoing is Chris Willock, who's been a decent player at this level. I believe he did get double digits in goals for them one season. But we're going to go 19th for QPR. In 18th, we are going to go with Sheffield Wednesday. In terms of signings, we've got the likes of Jamal Lowe, Max Lowe, and Nathaniel Chalobah. So not too bad. And Jan Valery from Angers. Jan Valery, I believe, used to play for Southampton for a time. Not too bad. I like their manager, Danny Roll, for how he kept him up last season. I think 18th is a very good position for Sheffield Wednesday. In 17th, I've gone with Cardiff City. We've had quite a big transfer window. Callum Chambers in from Aston Villa on a free, who has top flight experience. Chris Willock from QPR on a free. And Anwar El Ghazi from Mainz on a free. So that is some decent signings. And I think Cardiff, I don't think fans are expecting much. And I think 17th's a fair finish. In 16th, I've got a club who's had a very quiet window, which is Preston. Main signing, Sam Greenwood from Leeds on loan. Youngster, hasn't really got a chance at Leeds at all, to be honest. In 15th, we've got another club who's had a quiet transfer window in Bristol City. Main departure is Andres Weimann, as I said earlier, to Blackburn. He scored a lot of goals for them. But anyways, let's move on to 14th. In 14th, I've got Swansea. Under Luke Williams, unfortunately, they've had a real lack of investment. I know one of their free signings, Lawrence Viroux, who I believe is from France, from Burnley, backup goalkeeper at Burnley. Really? Is that the best Swansea can do? Really quiet window. I don't think they have a squad that can get them any higher than 14. They've genuinely had nearly 20 players coming out. Yes, I don't know all of them, and there may be a lot of youngsters in there, but that is crazy. In 13th, we have Stoke, who, in terms of signings, headlined by Ben Gibson from Norwich on a free, and Sam Gallagher from Blackburn, who we talked about earlier. Very inconsistent striker. Not ideal, to be honest, in terms of signings. Under Schumacher, he wants to play a certain style of football and has definitely got a pre-season under his belt, which will allow them to develop a bit more. But 13th for Stoke, I don't think that's too bad a prediction. Let's move on to 12th. In 12th, I've got Sunderland, a slight improvement on their 16th place finish from last season. Signings, Alan Brown from Preston on a free, and Ian Pervada on Leeds from a free. Kind of the best of the bunch. Not great for really, is it? I do think Sunderland have a good squad, and they should improve from last season, like so Joby Bellingham, Dan Neil, Jack Clark, all at the club, who are promising and have done well as of late, but need to build around that. And I really think they could do better than 12th, but I think a plus 4 places on last season's finish is not too bad. The new manager as well, Regis Lebris, is a risk, but I have to see if that pays off. You never know. Especially considering he has just 2 years of senior managerial experience at Lorient in France. I'll try to be as biased as possible with this next one, because in 11th we have got Watford, who are big rivals with my team, Luton. Very much looking forward to those derby games this season coming up. In terms of signings, Watford, Moussa Sissoko back from Nantes should be good at the Championship level, but he's like 34, 35 now, so you really have to question if he's going to be a starter or not. I really doubt it, but you never know. So 11th for Watford. In 10th, I'm going with a 4-place drop for this team, is Norwich. Dropping from 6th to 10th. They've took a big risk with their new manager, Johannes Hoff-Fulp. Don't really know him, to be honest, but it's a big risk. We'll have to see how he does. Norwich have had a surprisingly big outgoing this summer. Gabriel Sara going to Galatasaray for 15.3 million. And when I first saw that, I thought, wow, I want to see how they can spend this money potentially, Norwich. And really, I know that it was only like a week ago, if that. So I don't know if they'll be able to spend some of that in the rest of this window. Are they going to save? In terms of signings, Callum Doyle from Man City on loan, Theo Adelusi from Tottenham as a free. That's about it. There's other signings, obviously, but all that's worth mentioning, to be honest. In 9th, I've gone with Millwall. Big signing, Tanganga. Lord, they had him on loan last season. Now, in 8th, I'm going with Sheffield United, the first of the 3 relegated teams from the Premier League. They've gone big this season in terms of ingoings and outgoings. They've been ruthless with who they want to get rid of. Well, obviously, Cameron Archer, I believe, had a clause to go back to Villa if Sheffield United got relegated. So that was somewhat expected. Other outgoings, George Baldock, Wes Foderingham, Max Lowe, Ben Osborne, Chris Basham, John Egan, Ollie McBurney, Oliver Norwood, Daniel Jefferson, Jaden Bogle. That is a lot of players going out. Granted, they were absolutely shocking, most of them, last season. In the Premier League, conceding 104 goals, the most ever in Premier League history, as Sheffield United went down with a whimper rather than a bang. In terms of signings, the likes of Alfie Gilchrist on loan from Chelsea, who played a few games at the end of the season, looked like a hell of a talent, scored a great goal, I do believe. Callum O'Hare from Coventry, Kiefer Moore from Bournemouth, Jamie Shackleton from Leeds, Harry Souttar from Leicester on loan. So, big transfer window for Sheffield United. However, I don't think it's going to be enough. In 7th, I'm predicting them to place the same as last season. It's Hull City. They've gone bold in terms of managerial decisions, getting rid of Liam Rosnier after finishing 7th, and replacing him with Tim Walter. Hull signed Ryan Giles from Luton, who they had on loan for the second half of last season. Cody Drammer from Leeds on a free, also used to play for my club, Luton. In terms of outgoings, though, Jacob Greaves out, Matt Ingram out, Billy Sharp out. But the main outgoing is their top goal scorer, Jaden Philogene, who really impressed a lot of people. Scored 12 goals last season, off to Aston Villa. So we'll have to see how they can adapt without Philogene. In 6th, I go with West Brom, who've also lost their top goal scorer, Brandon Thomas Asante, who also got 12 goals, just like Philogene. In terms of other outgoings, they've got rid of a lot of experience. Yakuzlu, Eric Peters, Matt Phillips, Jan Mavilla, Nathaniel Chalobah, Connor Townsend. In fifth, I'm going to go with Middlesbrough, 3 places higher than they finished than last season's 8th. They also made it to the League Cup semi-final. And a key player for them last season, Emmanuel Latalay, 18 goals. Wow, wow, wow. Michael Carrick's managerial career, I think, going to get another playoffs. I'm going to predict them for 5th. In terms of transfers, Luke Ayling, the main transfer from Leeds on a free, is a great deal, and I think he'll be great for them, hopefully, if he avoids his injury problems, which he usually does have. In 4th, I've got Coventry. Big signing, as mentioned earlier, Brandon Thomas-Asante from West Brom. Also signed Jack Rudoni from Huddersfield. Louise Binks from Bologna. They had a very impressive season last year. Apart from finishing 9th in the Championship, they managed to reach the FA Cup semi-final, and nearly beat Man United and nearly got to the FA Cup final. So I think they can progress after going a few steps backwards last season in terms of league position. So I'm predicting Coventry for 4th. In 3rd, just outside the automatic promotion spots, I'm going with my team, Luton Town. We've had a very quiet transfer window. Shandon Baptiste in from Brentford on a free, and Rule Walters from Arsenal on a free. I think we are going to add to that. According to Rob Edwards, they're working really hard to get some more transfers in. So in terms of players we've lost Ross Barkley, gone to Aston Villa. The end of the loan for Albert Sambi Lokonga. So we've lost 2 good midfielders, and we've bought 1 in Baptiste on a free. Also lost Luke Berry to Charlton on a free. Good squad player. Scored in the Premier League last season. Also lost Gabriel Osho to Auxerre in France on a free. So we've lost a lot of players, a lot of key players, and not really replaced them very well. But I think we're going to have a big end to the transfer window. But I still think we've got a squad good enough to push for the automatic promotion spots. But I think 3rd I'll be happy with that. I think expectation this season, minimum playoffs for sure. I think what some people still forget is Luton. Yes, it's my club, so I'm going to embellish it slightly. But we have got so many players still out injured from last season. I'll name a few. Mads Anderson, Marvelous Nakamba, Amari Bell, and Jacob Brown, just to name a few, which is crazy. Despite that, I still think when those players get fit, and if we hang on to players like Adebayo, Morris, Mengi, Chong, Ogbene, Kaminsky, we have got a good enough squad to compete in the Championship this season and push for the automatic promotion spots. But I've gone with a 3rd place finish simply because of the weak window at the time of recording. In 2nd, I'm going with Burnley. Last time around in the Championship, they absolutely swamped the league with Vincent Kompany. Don't think they're going to finish 1st this time, but I still believe Burnley will be going up in the automatic promotion spots. With Scott Parker at the wheel, it's been a busy transfer window. Signing the likes of Hledecki from Ipswich, goalkeeper, Trésor from Genk, Viviers from Swansea, Maxime Esteve from Montpellier. It's been that's just about half of the transfers. In terms of outgoings, they haven't lost too much from relegation from the Premier League. Jack Court released, but was really a squad player at this point. Muric, who just about forced his way into being #1 goalkeeper back end of last season to Ipswich. Kind of a swap deal with Muric and Hledecki, but it's not an official swap deal. It's just the keepers have gone the other way. So, second for Burnley. In first, we're going to go with Leeds. It has been a summer of outgoings, to be perfectly honest, at Leeds United. Archie Gray to Tottenham was great last season, and Sinisterra to Bournemouth, Luke Ayling to Middlesbrough, Shackleton to Sheffield United, Somerville to West Ham, who was unbelievable last season. Their top goal scorer last season with 21 goals and picked up a lot of the championship awards at the end of the season. But in terms of signings, they've kept it quite brief. Jayden Bogle, from Sheffield United, Joe Rodon from Tottenham, Joe Rothwell from Bournemouth on loan. It's not a great transfer window, but I still think they have a squad good enough. So I'm predicting Leeds United for first. So there you have it, my championship predictions. Sorry they're coming out a little bit late after the season has officially started, but it's not too bad. Only the first round of matches has been played, so hope you did enjoy. Stay tuned for the next one. I will be doing Premier League predictions before that starts. Bye, guys.